Today will be a day to remember for the rest of your life. The Pro Football Hall of Fame is excited to present the heart of a Hall of Famer program connected by Extreme Networks. With over 100 Hall of Famers participating, we have reached 47 states and countries all over the world, sharing the message that football is more than a game and can teach Americans important life values like commitment, integrity, courage, respect, and honesty.
But you have to make right decisions even when nobody's watching you.
Well, respect is not just given out. It's not handed out like a brochure. It's earned.
Today, you are presented with an opportunity to meet and learn from one of the greatest football players of all time. But more important than that, the chance to see that their Hall of Fame life wasn't given to them. They didn't roll out the bed great. They put the work in, on the field, in the weight room, in the classroom, in their communities. They made themselves a Hall of Famer on and off the field.
Your feet can't take you where your mind's never been.
Because you can make it, but it's just gonna take a little hard work and some effort and the drive and determination.
And today, you will learn you can do the same thing they did. You don't have to have a gold jacket or a bronze bust to make a difference in the lives of others. It's your decision whether you want to be a successful student, son, daughter, brother, or sister.
If attitudes are contagious, is your attitude worth catching?
It's integrity as well, because when you decide to pursue something and you don't quit, that says a lot about you.
Commitment to excellence. We can all aspire to be the best.
Welcome to a once-in-a-lifetime program, the heart of a Hall of Famer program, connected by Extreme Networks.
My game day morning crew: Warren Sapp, Rich Eisen, Steve Mariucci, Michael Irvin. Thank you guys, man.
Tonight, I advocate that we take the lead of football and huddle up as a people, as a great nation. Let's find the common ground through our shared values. Let's celebrate and learn from our differences. Derek Brooks from Pensacola, Florida. Warren Sapp from Apopka, Florida. And John Lynch from Solana Beach, California have. So too can all of you.
But when I got there, boy, Warren Sapp, Pat Riley, Rohan Marley, C.J. Richardson, Chad Wilson, Malcolm, man, they changed my mentality. I was surrounded around so much greatness.
Next, I'd like to recognize the organization's second Hall of Famer, my draft classmate of '95, my roommate, my teammate, Mr. Personality like no other, but I wouldn't trade you in for another brother. My man, Warren Sapp. People don't understand how we're so opposite, but yet we're so the same. We get along, and I simply tell them it's not their business, it's God's. I love you, man, and you know I wouldn't be standing here without you. Thank you, Warren.
All right, with that, I'd like to welcome everybody here to Centaurus High School in Lafayette, Colorado for our latest installment of the Heart of a Hall of Famer series today, featuring that gentleman you heard all those Hall of Famers talking about, and the gentleman sitting right here beside me, Mr. Warren Sapp. My name is Jake Ray, I'm Youth Education and Leadership Manager at the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio, and I'm super excited to be here today. Our mission at the Pro Football Hall of Fame is to honor the greatest of the game, to preserve its history, to promote its values, and to celebrate excellence together. And those values we promote are those of commitment, integrity, courage, respect, and honesty, all of which made this gentleman right here a great football player, but it makes him a great person off the field, makes him a great coach. I'm sure we're going to get that today being out here in Colorado. So I'm super excited to hear how these values not only impacted Mr. Sapp's career on the field, but off the field as well. Before we do get started, some thank yous I'd like to pass out. First and foremost, I'd like to thank our great partners at Extreme Networks for everything they do for us at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. They are the reason we're able to do this program and provide insight to students all over the country. Whether you're here in person or you're connected in online or watching us on YouTube, Extreme Networks is providing that opportunity, so we want to thank them. Secondly, I'd like to thank the teachers, administrators, educators, anybody that allowed their students to be a part of this program today, allowed us to be a small part of their students' learning experience. We thank them. We also like to thank the students and staff here at Centaurus High School for allowing us to come into their doors, interrupt their school day, and host the program today. And then lastly, we have to thank our students. Students, this program's here for you. We've had some time off camera here before we started. Some great questions being asked, but students, this is here for you. I got a whole bunch of questions, but nobody wants to hear from me for the next 45 minutes to an hour. We want to hear all the great student questions we have. So, students, this is an opportunity for you to ask a question to a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. If you're watching us on YouTube Live, or you're a view-only school through Zoom, make sure you can submit questions as well. You can go ahead and put those questions into the live chat on YouTube, or you can do the chat function on Zoom. Your question might just make it into the program. And then lastly, how the program is going to work today, we're going to take some questions from our students here in front of us, as well as all the great schools we have connected in online as well. No matter where you're watching, though, whether you're watching us live in here in person or online, hashtag HOF values in your post.
And at Warren Sapp.
And at Warren Sapp. Yeah, don't forget him. Don't forget him. Gotta get those followers up. Get those followers up. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome one of the greatest football players of all time, one of 378 Hall of Famers, Mr. Warren Sapp.
Oh, thank you. And I guess it's easy to go down the script when you're holding that thing right there, but I don't use the script, and I wouldn't use the script. But we're here to talk about the 5 values of the Hall of Fame, which is commitment, and we all know what a commitment is, right? Commit to our class schedule, we commit to our teachers, we commit to our parents and everything, and the rules and regulations and all the good stuff. Integrity is when nobody's around. What are you and who are you? Like when you're playing golf. We all know what courage is. Wake up every morning, face the challenges. The good Lord won't give you anything that you can't handle. I guarantee you that. Do not think that there's too much on your plate at any time in your life. Because I can take you to a cancer ward where they got cancer. Children cancer fund of Florida. I can show you some stories. So trust me, every day you wake up and the good Lord have you upright and you're breathing air, you have some courage to go face whatever's in front of you. No doubt about it. And then it's honesty, right? Honest. Come on. Stop it. We're not even what? Come on. I tell my young men at the school, so don't have that in your life at any point in anything. And the last one, it's earned, it's met with the same vigor and love as courage. Because to get respect, you got to earn it. And to give it is to have it returned to you. But there's 5 things I want to share with y'all. That was my foundation that carried me before the NFL or the Hall of Fame gave me those 5. We all know the vowels, right? A.E.I.O.U. Give me a word with all of them in it. Somebody. Education. That's the foundation that will take you around the world and back. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Every day you wake up, you seek education. You have to learn something new. And don't let it be at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all have internet. Seek knowledge, young people. Education is the foundation. And the 5 things that drove me. That's what drove me. Education, those vows, because I was off a dirt road. I didn't have cable television. I didn't have air conditioning, and the pizza man did not deliver. I had to walk 1.5 miles down to the store so it had lights, because we didn't have street lights or anything like that. So I had to walk to go get the pizza man. He thought he was going to get robbed, and I wanted pizza, so I'm walking. Meet me at the Circle K Center's car. Take advantage of your guidance counselors and everything you have. Y'all have more resources. This phone is more powerful than the rocket they say that went to the moon. Trust me. Utilize it at your fingertips. Don't waste your time with a timeline. Do not let your timeline become your lifeline. Live the life. We didn't have these. We had to go invent it. I'm kids of the 80s. Coach Little talk about we built ramps, jumped, you know, one of those seat belts, no car seats. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have all the guardrails that'll keep you safe. Live. Paint with bold strokes. You ever seen a Picasso? Look like a 7-year-old painted it, doesn't it? Paint with bold strokes. You might have a masterpiece on your hands. Enjoy it. I promise you.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, if this program was an hour, I think we could just wrap up right after that.
You got some stuff to take me through. It said Warren's remarks, so I wanted to give Warren remarks. There you go.
We always talk about, talking about hardly you mention anything that happened on the field. Like everything you talked about there is off the field. So using those 5 values, though, how did that help you become a better football player? How did you take those lessons that you knew those values impacted your life off the field and then apply them on the field?
You know what? When you come to the stadium and it's a 600-pound double team, you have to have courage to face that, right? And then we always had a saying in our locker room that we're going to go into your time and let the tape tell the story. And we always said, if you're here and your opponent is here and he watched your tape all week, he's going to step it up, right? You don't want to be embarrassed. You're going to step it up. And if you start reading your press clippings and, taking those pats on the back and, your lady wearing your jersey on Friday and it look real good to you, you come on down a little bit, now you got a dog fight. But if you play to the standard that you and your teammates set for yourselves and have a goal going, they'll never get to you. They won't. You'll be able to dominate them. Set that mind that I'm about to dominate them, and I'm going to dominate them every play. Dion likes to say he just needs 7 of the 11 on the field to get it done. I like to go 10 out of 11. So that's just always been my mentality, whenever it's, the respect, the courage, the integrity, the honesty, you know what I'm saying? We play a game of inches. And I always say the football gods are cautious. Because when you watch it with your teammates, only you know if you're honest with yourself, right? You only know what you were thinking before that snap. You know if you knew it was 3rd and 3 and they told you it was draw and now you think of something else. Only you know that. But be honest with yourself, be accountable to your teammates, and it's just the integrity and respect of the game that we always will have. And college football's at 155? I played in the 125th year, and it was 30 years since I won Defensive Player of the Year in college, so that's 155 or something like that. The NFL's over 100 years. It's a beautiful game. If you're going to love it, respect it, have the integrity of it, and what you put into it, you'll normally get out. So work for it.
Talking about an idea of respect. Obviously, you hear the saying all the time, you got to respect your opponent, respect the person across from you. Playing at the level you did in the NFL, obviously you had the best lined up across from you. But I want to focus on what respect is like now being a Hall of Famer. So for anybody that doesn't know, during Enshrinement Week, there's a luncheon that happens called the Ray Nitschke Luncheon, and only Hall of Famers are allowed to be in there. No staff, not the president of the Hall of Fame, no media, nobody. It's you have a gold jacket and one of these rings, you're allowed in that room. Nobody else is. So I want to talk about the idea of respect when you step into that room and you have guys that you looked up to, and now there's players who are coming in that looked up to you when they played. What is that respect like? No offense. What's the respect like in that room when you step in there? And do you have a goal like, I'm gonna go talk to this person this year, I'm gonna go sit at this person's table and just stoke in that knowledge?
No. Because the Steelers are going to have a table, the Dolphins are going to have a table. We're like you relive your childhood is what I do. When I get there, I always started it with Jim Brown. God bless his soul. Now he's gone. Now started every year with Bob Lilly, Mr. Cowboy, because he's the first of the 5 first ballot defensive tackles that I'm a member of the club, and there's only 5 of us. So, and 4 of us at the Hall because Merlin Olsen is gone. But y'all don't know who Merlin is. You know Merlin Olsen more from television with Father Murphy and Little House on the Prairie than you would from the Los Angeles Rams. That's how good he was. he was better on TV than he was as a football player, and he was a monster on the football field. So, I mean, for me, it's I'm a kid in the candy store. I really can't describe it any other way. And I turn myself into a diabetic all week long because I get to grab Joe Green and doing that to him. So, I mean, Willie Lanier called me when I got in the Hall of Fame and said, "This is 131." Like, 131 on my phone? Who 131? Willie Lanier in the Hall of Fame, and you are engaged. Like, wait a minute, I only been married once. I haven't been on my knee. And loquacious I am. I'll use Tony Dungy's word. It means I talk a lot. I had to go. Your team for life, and it's the greatest team ever assembled, and that's your initiation to it. And I said, if that's all I got to do, I almost got me some duct tape. That we'll keep that gold jacket.
Pro Football Hall of Fame. Obviously, we're a museum, so anytime that we get the opportunity, we like to show our museum off. So we're actually going to go live to Canton, Ohio right now to the Hall of Fame Gallery, which is kind of the epitome of the Hall of Fame. It's where all those bronze busts are. And we've got the Director of Youth Education and Leadership, Jerry Shockey, who's going to talk a little bit about what it means to have one of these bronze busts, a little bit about what you just heard from Warren there. So, Jerry, whenever you're ready, take it away.
All right, Jake, thank you very much. Jake, I like the look, by the way. I like you went a little different today. I like the look. So well done. Well done today. So students that are tuned in from across the country, thank you for connecting here. Mr. Sapp, thank you for being here, sharing your advice and your wisdom and things that you've learned throughout your career. I'm here in the Hall of Fame Gallery. The greatest football players that have ever played are in here. Think about this just for a second, students, just to let you know the type of excellence that you have the opportunity to speak with today. Since the game of football started at all levels over the past 100+ years, there have been about 300 million that have played. On the college level, there have been about 5 million. On the professional level, there have been about 30,000. In the Hall of Fame, there are only 378 members of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So that gives you an idea of the level of success of the person that you have talking with you guys here today. And so my question here is, like, when you walk through this gallery, I mean, there's just, you almost want to take your shoes off in here. I mean, there's just a feeling of reverence here at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And so my question to you, Warren, is when we talk about in this room, one of the things we talk about is legacy. And can you, for the young people that are connected in here today, number one, define what legacy means to you, but then what you want your legacy to be, not only just on the field, but off the field as well.
Fame always says that they protect our legacy. And the thing about it is, with a legacy, it will live on well beyond you into your great, great, great grandkids, because that bust that you're looking at down right off his left elbow is me right there with those braids. If I sat it on my lawn out here in Colorado in the snow, because you know you can get rain, hail, a sunny day all in one day in Colorado, it was 40,000 years sitting in front of my living room, right in front of my house. So the legacy with that is, so much more than just that bus. It's the stories and my teammates that are there, and the teams, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the change of the colors. I used to wear that ugly orange back in the day. So I'm that old. You know what I'm saying? I told you about the stadiums I played in. I'm that old that I used to wear that orange, icicle orange that the owners never wanted to bring out, and they brought it out the other day, and we played like the old orange Bucks that day. So that's maybe why they don't want to bring it out. But that's the legacy in which I have, and they will preserve, and it will be there. So when you come to the hall, My hand sits out in front of it. I don't have very big hands, so when you get there and you put it up, like, oh, big. It ain't the size of the dog. It's the fight that's in him. And I love my life.
Thank you, Mr. Sapp. I appreciate it. And Jake, I'm gonna send it back to you, my friend.
Awesome. Thanks, Jerry. Thanks for that live look into the museum there.
Oh, and I want to tell you, Jerry, I'm not allowed to wear red out here in Colorado. You didn't know that? I left all my bucks at home, buddy. You're not allowed to wear red here.
I'm glad I'm not there.
Yes, thank you so much, and we hope students enjoyed kind of a live look into the that's why we work. That's why this gentleman here is why I have a job. I get to protect this man's legacy with everything I do on a day-to-day basis, and I have honor in that. And it's such cool that I get to come here, sit here, talk with him, and learn more about his life and career on and off the field.
Goodness.
We're now going to go to questions from our students. We're first going to start. You mentioned when we started, you got the alma mater and connected in here today. So we're going to go down to Florida to Apopka High School for our first remote question. So our students there.
Potato.
So our students there at Apopka, go ahead and unmute your microphone. Have the students step up and then go ahead with your question.
Raise your hand. Go ahead, stand up. How you doing? My name is Caleb Reed. My first question is, how did you overcome adversities throughout your career?
How'd you overcome adversity throughout your career?
Oh, I don't think you heard me, but I just like I told these young ladies and gentlemen that are in front of me now, the good Lord does not give you anything that you can't handle. Adversity is just you get knocked down. That's the whole thing, is get back up. Not having a plan. Like it's like playing football when he beats you on that play. The game ain't over. It ain't over at that point. You got to come up with a better plan. You got to come up with something else, And adversity you talking about is what, grades or something like that? Because I tell my young men all the time, don't let 30 seconds of a foolish decision affect the next 30 years of your life. Stop. Think for a second. What exactly am I tackling? And what's my best way to go about attacking it and solving the problem or solving this adversity that's in my life or the obstacle that's in front of me? Because you're too young to really be talking adversity. You know what I'm saying? You don't have a pot to, I can't say that. My mama's something special. You don't have real problems. You don't have bills you have to pay every 30 days. So trust me, those little problems you have is something you can get done real easily. So think about what it is, have a plan to attack it, and get it done.
Awesome. Thanks for that great question there at Apopka. Before we move on to our next question, can you just talk a little bit about, what was your high school football life like? What was Apopka High School? What does that mean to you?
That's Roger Williams Field, baby. Blue Daughters. A.P.
Go ahead and have your student step up to the microphone, state your name, the grade that you're in, and then go ahead with your question. Whenever you're ready there, Mesopotamia, go ahead and have your student step up.
Okay.
All right, there we go. Looks like we're getting unmuted here.
All right.
It's the beauty of live programming and live technology.
Mesopotamia.
Right now. Remington, say
Mesopotamia, what state are you guys in?
your name.
Oh, he dropped the paper.
Hurry up, right now. That's you. Now, nice and loud.
I'm Remington. And what character qualities do you believe it takes to be a Hall of Fame player?
What character qualities do you think it takes to become a Hall of Fame player?
What
character qualities?
Wow. Special, committed, dedicated, smart, tough, physical. all the stuff you'll ever hear your teachers and your guidance counselors tell you, that you're gonna need that grit in life. Listen to them very carefully, because 99% of all of us is going pro in something other than the sport that we love. So make sure you tackle those books. Make sure you tackle those books and have something to back up, because I'm one of the very, very fortunate few in the world that got to do something that I love. But trust me, the world is in front of you. Paint with bold strokes. You'll be fine.
Awesome. Thanks for that question there. We're going to work on getting the state for the figure that one out.
Absolutely.
Our next question is going to come from the North Ridgeville Academic Center. I do know this one's back in Ohio.
Okay.
So our students there at North Ridgeville, go ahead and step up, state your name, the grade that you're in, and then go ahead with your question.
My name is Carter Wooten, and I'm in 7th grade. And what was the biggest challenge you faced going from an NFL player to a college coach?
Biggest challenge from an NFL player to a college coach.
Ooh, go Raiders. I love that sweatshirt you have on. The biggest transition?
Mm-hmm.
I'm no longer leading the troops. You know, when I played the game, I mean, the hardest thing for me to do is to put a week's worth of work together with the kids and then wait until 6 or 8 o'clock. You know those late games we've been having. I'm like, and I don't have my hand in it. I just gotta hope and pray that they're about to go do what we worked on all week long and show out. You know, it's the hardest thing because I knew what I was doing. I knew what I was capable of. I knew what me and Brooks and Lynch, I knew what we were gonna do. I have no idea. I gotta watch my babies go out there and take off and hope they know how to fly. That's the hardest part, is not being able to put my actual foot on the football field. I have to watch them do it.
Awesome. We got word Mesopotamia, also from Ohio, northeast part of the state. And then our last school we have here connected in remotely is Yucca Elementary School. So our students there, Yucca, go ahead and unmute your microphone, have your students step up, state their name, the grade that they're in, and then go ahead with their question.
My name is Conrad, and I am in 5th grade. And my question for you today is, who inspired you to play football?
Who inspired you to play football?
Go Eagles. My brother that his name is Arnell Lights, and I told them, but I didn't tell you guys. I was 7 years old in 1980 watching him run for 348 yards and 5 touchdowns in front of my face. And I was watching him just make people miss. And I was like, they look like me in the backyard trying to tackle him. It was unbelievable. He was my everything.
Awesome. And that school's New Mexico.
New Mexico. Nice.
We talked a little bit earlier today before we were on camera about you play in high school. Yeah. You played every position, even
no, just 3.
Just 3.
Outside linebacker, tight end, and punter.
So you're on the field pretty much all the time. And also, I got a note here that says you have the school record for the longest field goal.
No.
Not anymore?
No, Wikipedia. Somebody been on Wikipedia. I used to be a state champion wrestler too, until I kept saying that somebody was looking at Wikipedia again. You know, source coding is not good. I'm at a university. You cannot use Wikipedia in any of your work. So leave Wikipedia alone.
All right, teachers.
It's a barbershop talk.
Did not think you were going to get that piece of advice from Orange Tap today, didn't you? How was defensive tackle always kind of like, or outside line? Was that what you wanted to do, or is that kind of just how you where your career ended up?
No, I leave high school. I'm 225 pounds, 332 at the heaviest if it was around Thanksgiving. There's no way. So I go from Orlando down to the University of Miami, down the Florida Turnpike. I step on the scale. I'm 270 pounds. I ate a 3rd grader on my way to college in the car. So now I'm 270 pounds. And Bob Carmelowitz, God bless his soul, came to me and he said, I've seen Jerome, Russell, Cortez, and you can be better than all 3 of them. I'm like, yeah, whatever. He was like, well, name me a 300-pound tight end. And I'm like, Eric Green. And he said, yeah, and he's digging his grave with a fork. And I'm like, So in other words, if you want to be eating nice and, round and fat, that's what we like to call ourselves, fat boys at D-line. You can do this, but as a tight end, you're going to need to be slim, Shannon Sharp. You're looking guy, with a body. No, not for me. So I about 6 weeks in, he said, just come down and give it a try. They brainwashed me. They never put me in run drills. They only had me rushing the passer, and nobody could stop me because I had very, very long arms. Never knew it at the time, but I had very, very long arms, and I had good feet, and I was athletic. So I tried it. Next thing I know, the rest is history, like they say. I used to be the quarterback's best friend as a tight end. And my roommate was a quarterback, Ryan Collins. And then I used to come home talking this defensive stuff, and he used to hate me. Like, what are you doing? You chase me around the field all day. I'm like, well, that's my new job. So I just fell in love with the position. So trust me, whatever your coach asks you to do, go give it a shot. Hear me? Go give it a shot.
You mentioned earlier Defensive Player of the Year, 1999. What did that honor mean to you? To get that phone call, get that notification that out of everybody that stepped on the field that year on the defensive side of the ball, people thought that you were the best one to do it.
Well, it was me playing back to the level that I needed to for my team to win, because the year before I went to my first Pro Bowl, got married, came home, and found honeydews that took me away from the job, and I wasn't ready for the next season and only had 6 sacks. So that was my, wait a minute, let's get back on track year. So, and then the next year I had 16 and a half sacks. I was better than that year, and they didn't give me Defensive Player of the Year again. So I was a little hot with them. But, it was just my, you want to be recognized as one of the best in the game. And I had some great teammates around me. So they allowed me to, play with my hat out, so to speak.
So all these awards, honors, successes, whether they're on Wikipedia or not, come in and
they normally get the awards right,
yes.
because they kind of give you a trophy for that.
All these awards that come in, how important is, because there might be kids in here who are all league, all districts, all state. How important is it to remain humble when all these things start rolling in, and how are you able to do that throughout your career?
Because like I told y'all earlier, the game of football is the most humbling game we have. None of us can play it by ourselves. We all need our teammate. The running back can't run without the O-line. I can't rush the passer without the defensive back covering the receivers. It's all intertwined. I like to tell my teammates, it's me, you 5, and you 5. And now we come together, and now I got weapons. So we fight for 4 quarters, because we all together. And that's what it's about. It's about coming together and being accountable. Because we always like to talk about football as being a family. Football is not a family. Because if a family is walking down the street and the baby is lagging, we're all going to make sure that baby's safe, correct? Football is a brotherhood of men. You're held accountable. You're held responsible for a job. You have a gap. You have a person you need to block. You got to get to the next level. You got to run that route. You understand what I'm saying? You're held accountable, and now when it don't happen, don't feel sensitive now. We don't talk to you a certain kind of way. Y'all know this, brothers fight. But that's what makes us closer in the love right there. So that's what it is. It's about being humble, because it's not all about you. It's never about you. Now, they give you one award, you go up and you thank your teammates, because without them, you couldn't have did it. Come on. We know what this is. That's why we come together all the time. And it's team, us, D-line, whatever it is. It's always a group. It's never about me. No.
Awesome. I got some questions coming in here from some other groups online. This is from the Magnolia School in Orlando, Florida.
I know what that's
They submitted a question that says, when did you know you wanted to give back through coaching, community give back, foundations? When did that become something that you wanted to do?
I've always given back. I mean, I just never had I never needed or wanted anybody following me to say I did. I mean, I've been giving, I meet kids all the time that tell me way back when I was giving out shoes back in Tampa, because I knew what it was like not to have. My mother didn't, we didn't have money like that. I had to go work at $3.35 an hour at 13 years old to buy my first Jordan shoes. So my mama said she don't buy no $100 shoes. She ain't buy no $100 shoes now. Pay less, them suede ones, the Bobo, $5.99, Bobo make your feet feel fine. That's what I had until I could go get me a job. So I've always worked for mine, so I'm a little different. I'm a little throwed off, so to speak.
Another question here. This is from another person we have tuning in online. His name's David. Wants to know, who was the biggest mentor throughout your life and your career?
My mother. My mother drove me, because I'm the baby of 6, and my mom worked 2 or 3 jobs. I wouldn't see her for weeks on the whole week. She'd yell at me on the way. I'm in the house by myself now. I got to get up and put my clothes on, go to school. When I come back, my brother or one of my sisters might cook something. I eat. I go to bed. My mom still's not home from work. Next time I hear is that next morning, her yelling at me again, and she's walking out the door because I'm the last one in the house. So I just watched her work to be able to provide what she could for me. And that's That's always been my driving force to retire her, and she hadn't worked since 1995. Mission accomplished. And she turns 80 December 9th. Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. All right, we're going to take some questions from our students in front of us here in Colorado. So if you got a question, go ahead and raise your hand. Not everybody. All right, go ahead. What's your question? Finally got to it. What's it like coaching along a fellow Hall of Famer and friend Deion Sanders?
You know what? We used to work together at the NFL Network side by side for 7 years. So the conversations have gotten a little looser because we don't have the corporate environment around us, so to speak. So no, it's been a friend for a long time, and we really see the game very similar. And we see the kids very similar because we understand what we're going to pour into them and what we're holding them accountable for and asking from them is going to mold their lives for the next 30 years. And we're going to be very careful and precious with that because we understand what that is.
What's it like, coaching with a guy who's, as successful as Coach Prime is? We see the videos online, the hype videos, and everything. We were watching some before we started today. But the videos that I tend to see and pay attention to a lot is when, Coach Prime brings a kid up and talks about him or talks about his family. I saw somebody was diagnosed with a disease and he had his jersey hanging right beside him.
In the locker room.
What?
I mean, that's our D-line brother. And we told him we riding for him. So trust me, I say it's not a family, but we care about each other like a family because it's brothers. We're brothers are brothers, and we come from so many different places in the world, and we come together in a melting pot about a common goal. But these are the relationships that will carry you for the next 50 years. Trust me. I mean, I sit in a room full of Canes, and it's 100+ of us in the room, and we talk every day. I mean, these are the relationships that'll carry you through your life, and they're very, very special. And just happy to be a part of it. I'm blessed.
Obviously we see, the coaching success and the players developing into great players off the field. But what's it like for a coach of college kids, college students, when you are coaching them to become better men? And when you see those successes, what is that like for you as a coach and a mentor to these what your babies, you call them?
Yeah, I call them my babies, but they're 18 to 22-year-old young men, first and foremost. And there's somebody else's baby too. And now I'm entrusted with putting something good in them and giving them life experience. Because I tell them all the time, Google is where you ask questions. On Sapp where you get some answers. Because I've been through some things. I can actually give you an experience about that, and we share that with them. And I tell them all the time, I'm an open book. Anything you want to talk about, anything. I'm coming to my office at 6 a.m. Tell me what time you want to meet me. I'm here for you because I'd be on my couch with Kool-Aid in my hand and looking at the reruns of General Hospital, probably. That's Brooks that watches soap operas, not me.
I got another question from our students here in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead. Go ahead. Injury. What's your worst one?
I was playing the Denver Broncos. That's funny. I was playing the Denver Broncos and I broke my 3rd and 4th metacarpal in my hand because I didn't want to listen to coach telling me it wasn't no pass plays, and I got too far up the field and I had to come back, and Lynch hit me. And a rotator cuff. In 98, it was partially torn. That's also why I had a bad year too, but I wouldn't blame it on rotator cuff. And this one in 06, I missed 10 games.
How do you come back for something like that? What is obviously
listen to the doctors. That's why I tell you, I listen to your teachers and counselors. We don't know it all. When your coach asks you to do something, try this position for me. Go try it. With age comes wisdom. It's what you learn after you know it all that really counts. I know it all now. The day you say that, now everything you learn after that is what really counts.
I got another question. Go ahead.
What is your greatest achievement in football?
Greatest achievement in football.
I'd have to say January 26, 2003. The team, we won a championship. I almost put it on today. I just don't put the Hall of Fame ring on. I almost put the other one on too because I don't get to wear them. I really don't. I mean, they like, we call them 5'7" table rings, because you can see it 5'7" tables away. So you really don't bring them out like that. But I do every now and then, and that 2002 Tampa Bay Buccaneers team is everything for me. I was talking to Dexter Jackson Sunday morning, my MVP from that team. So We just it's your lifelong experience and friendship that you will gain when you're on a team. I guarantee you, it's the greatest thing ever.
This is one of our favorite questions to ask. We talk about, what's it like to be in the Hall of Fame and get that honor, but I want to go all the way back. What was that welcome to the NFL moment? What was that moment where you just went, all right, this is a little different than college. What was your, all right, I'm here moment?
Week 6, we're playing the Atlanta Falcons. I've already had my first sack in Philadelphia, first game. That's out of the way. Got my first loss in Cleveland. That's out of the way. We come home. We play somebody else. So we're 3-2 at the time. We're playing the Atlanta Falcons. They got Metcalf and a couple people and Jeff George. Throw the ball from 20 to 20. Drop it on a dime. We're playing this thing, and I looked at the referee. It was a 3rd down. And Toback was the guard. I looked at the referee. I said, yo, he holding. Because in college, I was a bad boy. I say you holding, the play go off, the flag. 9 times out of 10, I get the flag. I'm in the NFL. I don't know if this is what's going to happen to me, but hey, ref, he holding over here. Check him out. Oh, I got you, Sapp. He even know my name. I'm like, yeah. Because everywhere else, I'm rookie. Super rookie in some instances on my team. They never called me by my first name my rookie year. I come off the ball and I turned and looked at the ref. I said, yo. He said, grow up. What? Grown man, I pay my bill. I pay my phone bill. What you talking about? Grow up.
That's awesome. You go through your entire career, all the successes and Super Bowls we talked about. The Buccaneers retire your number. What did that mean to you? Obviously you get into the Hall of Fame. That's so funny. What's that?
You won't believe. Yesterday is the anniversary. 11/11.
Wow.
Yesterday was what's this, 2024? 13? No, I went in the Hall 10. 11 years. 11th anniversary. My 11th anniversary. 11/11 was my 11th anniversary of them retiring my jersey. You almost made me cry. I'm glad that thing broke up when Brooks was talking. Because that was the last stage I was gonna be on. That was the last stage where we were gonna celebrate number 99 in your program, number 1 in your heart. That's what I used to call him, because my coach in college, Greg Marks, I stole it from him because he used to say, number 94, Greg Mark, in your program, number 1 in your heart. And I stole it. So that was the last time that we were going to celebrate him, because they were retiring it. They were going to give me one. I hung it in my mom's house, and I hadn't seen one until this year when Mitchell and Ness just brought it back out, the 2002 version of it. So, I mean, it's just stuff you don't even think about. Not one day in my 13-year career that I line up thinking this play or this game will put me in the Hall of Fame. I never considered that. It was just about a championship. It was just about that week's win. It was just about our playoff run that we were going to go on. Me and my teammates, one more time, sitting at the King's table with all the food in front of us. Ain't nothing like being a champion. So that's the only thing I've ever driven for, because when I went to the University of Miami, I went 12-0, won my first championship, went 11-1, and lost the national championship game to Alabama. Came back the next year, went 9-3, and then played in the national championship game my last year. So I've seen 3 national championship games, so I don't know anything but sitting at the table. I don't always get the meal, but it's like I told you with Michael Jordan, it's a 50-50 shot. Yes. He never had that 50-50, but just the ability to go there and, look at it. Yeah.
Number gets retired. That's one honor.
Wow.
What was it like to get the phone call saying, Warren Sapp, you're in the Hall of Fame?
This is funny. I'm old enough that knock on the door thing is nothing. I was walking down Bourbon Street with my friends because I had went to the Two Sister restaurant and cut a deal with the chef that he was going to get me like 10 to 12 pounds of crawfish. And we were going to eat them that morning before the Hall, because it doesn't happen till late on in the day. And, with NFL Network, we have a production meeting that's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I had a whole morning to burn off. So me and my boys walked Bourbon and went over there and had lunch and had crawfish. Trust me, I have a video of it. My homeboy set the camera up in the corner. I'm in my hotel room standing on the little table that's, you know, like one of those tables beside in the hotel room. I'm yelling at the TV. The greatest 10 minutes of my life. And then now I gotta jump off and go get dressed and come downstairs and go to the studio. And the first person I run into is Michael Irvin. First person, big fella. I said, oh man, hugging him, me and him crying, we drive and get over there. And then it's Larry Allen, Marshall Falk, Dion, and all the rest of them. It's just such an emotional whirlwind that, oof, I wish it was Groundhog Day because it was actually Groundhog Day. February the 2nd. It was actually Groundhog Day. And I tell myself, I say, only me gets Groundhog Day is the day I go into the Hall of Fame. So where's that Bill Murray at when I need him, right? These kids have no idea what we're talking about. That's why I'm looking at over here, because we know what I'm talking about. These kids like Groundhog Day. Isn't that when the field thing come out in 6 more months? It's a movie, and you might like it. It's a movie.
All right, I got a few more minutes here before we wrap up. I want to thank all the students for the great questions we've had. I got some rapid fire questions for you.
Come on.
And then we're going to end with one final question before we get done. All right, so I got a few.
Say, did nobody want to hear from him questions? No, go ahead.
Nobody wants to hear it.
Go.
All right, rapid fire questions. You ready? The best football movie.
Varsity Blues.
Go-to game day snack.
Oh, Paul.
Least favorite stadium to visit.
Never.
Love them all.
All of them. The next one. Let's go.
Tailgating or watching from home.
Tailgate.
If you could play any other positions beside the ones you played, what position are you playing?
Quarterback. That's what the girls come to watch.
Who's going to win it all this year?
The boss. What I miss.
I love that answer. Favorite sport to watch outside of football?
Basketball.
Favorite Halloween candy?
Oh, the little corn.
Candy corn?
Yeah,
great answer. Great answer.
Yeah, candy corn.
Cats or dogs?
Neither nor.
Go
Fish.
to karaoke song.
Huh?
I don't have one.
I don't either.
I don't have one.
I'd have to think about that.
If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
All of them, right?
I think that's a great answer. Yeah. Beach vacation or mountain getaway?
Beach. I'm getting used to the mountains now. I'm getting used to the mountains, but you know, I've been in the peninsula for 50 years. It's kind of tough not to go to the beach, boy.
Morning person or night owl?
Oh, I'm boy up and at 'em. Early bird gets the worm. Sleep when you're dead.
Best concert you have ever been to?
James Brown, 1976, and I was 4 years old, and my brothers and sisters took me.
Last question. If you had to eat one food the rest of your life, what is it?
One
food the rest of your life.
My mother's chicken and rice.
Great answer.
Yeah, my mother's chicken and rice.
Thank you for that. Obviously, I'd like to see a little insight to who Warren Sapp is. And then our last question here is: there's been so much, and I can say that as somebody who's hosted this program a bunch of times and hear all these great tips and tricks and pieces of advice. This has been one that has had a ton of that advice. But if there's one thing you want everybody in here watching online is going to watch this down the road, what's one piece of advice you want everybody to leave with today?
I think there's 5 L's. Life, live, love, laugh, learn.
Awesome. I love that. Awesome. Let's give it up for Pro Football Hall of Famer, Mr. Warren Sapp. Warren, we want to thank you so much for giving out of your, coaching lifestyle is a little bit different. So we thank you for giving time out of your busy schedule to be here today. Thanks to all the students and staff for allowing us, and for everybody that watched us online. We hope to see you next time. Bye, everybody.